The premiers in the two kingdoms meet to explore areas of common interest, varying from rich cultural heritage to stimulating a ravaged economy following devastating COVID-19 pandemic, which claimed his predecessor.
We have tried to manage COVID-19, I would say very well, if I can say that. For instance, yesterday we had a slight rise in the infections. We had 5, and we've been experiencing 1, 2 per day, 0 for the last 4 or 5 weeks, and this is why we have actually relaxed our partial lockdowns, because the numbers had gone down. But also what has happened in the process is that we have strengthened our health systems. For instance, we now have 2 oxygen plants so that when we experience the 3rd wave, at least we can have a core supply in country rather than depending on imports, because that has its own problems. Because if you import, sometimes you've got the problems at the gate because of COVID rules and such. So we suffered a bit, but right now I think we are managing. Then we also talked about, we've been kingdoms for a very long time, and continuously so. And there are values that we share in terms of our customs and traditions. They may be different, but they form our core values. This is why we've continued to stand as independent kingdoms for the 200 years, in our case 400 years. Because this is what identifies us as independent nations, kingdoms. We blend what we get and appreciate from the West. We also continue with our own. And this, King Sopuza used to say, for a piano to produce the good music, you have to play both the black and the white keys of that piano. And we also look at small countries, small kingdoms trading among themselves in the context of the bigger picture of SACU, SADC, the AU. We belong to many bodies together, COMESA, SADC, and others. So we deal with those issues, and we must appreciate each other's challenges so that we can put them in context when we meet in these big fora, and that's why we're here. We also looked at the political situations in the region and in Africa, and so how we can support one another, and how we can be innovative and make sure that our people don't suffer, how we can grow our economies and grow, provide employment, etc. So those were the issues that we dealt with today, and I'm very grateful as Umkwenyana to be treated this way, and I'm very excited.
Well, the first question I asked him was whether he had fully paid off the bride price. And then he told me, no, I will never pay in full. Because when you pay in full, you break up the relationship. They need to go and balance the books back at home. So he is now coming to solve a dispute of exactly how much is owing. And that's how you keep on. So I just thought it was a brilliant answer. And I accept that he shouldn't pay in full. And I'm going to try to get some change back. So
I have also gone to school with many Swazis. So we have an ample room to cooperate and to use our joint muscle to negotiate for things that are to the benefit of our people. I appreciate very much the proposal from Ndadi that we should cooperate more. So we have agreed to link up our cultural ministers as quickly as possible. I shared with him that we have begun a 4-year journey to celebrate our 200 years of existence as a formal Basotho nation. We were always there before 1820 or before 1824, but we are celebrating King Moshesha bringing us together, and we would like the Kingdom of Eswatini to be part of that journey. He has invited us also to take part in rich Eswatini customs and cultural events, and I think this can only strengthen us. This can only help our people remember where we are from, because it is in forgetting our cultural heritage, it is in forgetting our history that we begin to make mistakes. We could perish simply because we forgot our past. At the regional level, we will be meeting in Maputo early June. It will be a face-to-face meeting, COVID permitting. COVID rearranges things frequently, but COVID permitting, it is very urgent that we meet in a face-to-face discussion in Maputo, because Southern Africa is now experiencing a bout of internationally exported terrorism. We note, however, that it will be folly of us to think this is a Mozambique problem. Before long, this thing will begin to sprout in our midst. We have agreed to cooperate on that issue and help SADC see a broader picture in trying to help Mozambique.
But as the saying goes, when in Rome, do as Romans do.
Thaba Bosiu, Lesotho.